The first thing I'm going to show you is the inventory part. So I have both vCenters being associated with NSX-T. Right? So you can add multiple vCenter in NSX-T, and what you get is all the inventory of the both vCenters. So you can take a look at all the virtual machines across both data centers. So this is the vCenter, right? I'm actually using enhanced link mode here. You can actually manage both vCenter with logging into either one of them, right? So you can see the inventory of the VMs, which is the same view that you have in NSX-T. The only difference here is, you can't create virtual machines over in NSX-T, and you can't do any changes to it, right? If you need to do any changes to the virtual machines, it has to be done at the vCenter site. Moving on to networking portion, right? I have in the design, I have T0s both active at the left hand side and the right hand side. So these are all active, set up actively on both sides. And then in terms of tier 1, it's the same thing. They are associated with the respective edge clusters on their site. This is segments where you create, logical switch. Although you can actually span the layer 2 across sites, but with the use of the load balancer as well as GSLB, it's not required over here. In terms of load balancer, this is NSX-T load balancer, right? Created 2 of them. You can see that the virtual servers. So I would like you to pay attention to the virtual IP address, right? So on site 1, I have a couple of web servers. They are being load balancer with this 10, 100, 100, 100 IP address. And then on the right hand side data centers, or site 2, I have the other IP address, which is 200, 200, 200. Okay? So if you look at the server pool, you can actually see the members of the virtual machine. So this is on the left data centers. You can look at the members over here, right? These are actually the virtual machines that is being load balanced. So how I use it is I create a security group, and this security group can be used for both distributed firewall as well as load balancer. Right? So this is really useful here, where you have a scale out environment where you add in virtual machines or containers into your load balancer pool, server pool, and then there's no multiple plays to do the configuration. So moving on, right? As I mentioned, you probably do not need the network to be spanning across sites when you're doing, using global site load balancer and the local load balancer. The value that NSX really bring to the solution is, especially is on the firewall policy sites. Now you can actually manage all your internal firewall across both sites with a single management. So you can see from here that these are the security groups that I actually created. So if I were to push a rule, I can actually just push it from one place, and both workloads at both VMs at both sides will all get the policy. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to block SSH from VMs to VMs. These are web servers, and they don't really need to communicate between themselves, right? So effectively, I'm actually trying to reduce the attack surface for these VMs, so that attacker won't be able to use one of the VM to SSH to the other VMs. So it's a really simple policies. I have not enabled it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do some trace route over here to show you that the VMs are actually at both sides. So let's show you the IP address of this machine. So you can see that this machine is 192.168.110.12, and then okay, and I will do a trace path to the first VIP, the VIP on the left data center, and then we'll do a trace path on the right. So you can see here that it is going through a different hop, right? So this is actually on the tier 0, right? So these are two different tier 0. Okay, I'll try to call the website. You can see that it's going to one of the web server on the other side. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to log into this machine, right? I can do that. Okay, and then if I try to do a ping, so this is on 10.22, so 21 is actually the same on the same layer 2 segment, right? So I can actually do a ping. So right now, because the rule is not enabled, so I can actually log in to this machine. See? Okay, so right now I'm going to enable the rule and I'm going to publish it. So this is effectively going to apply to all the VMs on both sides. So you have to do the same test again. You can see that now I'm not able to log in to the machines. So this distributed firewall is really very useful where you want to implement policies across site, and then it helps on your day 2 perspective where you don't need to go to multiple appliances and manage the firewall policies, right? This can be applied at both sites. Moving on, I'm going to show you the GSLB part. So if you can see that I actually have 2 VIP right now. So if I want a single URL, I need a GSLB to help me to do that. Okay, so I have this is Avi, and it has the capabilities of GSLB. So looking over here at the GSLB, this is how I have set it up, right? So you can actually do a DNS lookup, and one of the URL that I actually use. Okay, give me a minute. Right, it's called project02.rv.aspot.com. You can see that it returns the VIP on the first site, right? So showing you over here, this is how it's being set up over here. This is the one, right? This is the URL that I'm using. So you can see how I actually do it. I actually put both the VIP on the NSX-T load balancer as pool members in here, right, for the GSLB. So they are actually polling, right? So that's actually monitoring the VIP. So if it goes down, it will actually returns the VIP on the other side. So I'm going to make use of this cool tool called the HTTP ping. So what it does is every second, also you can see that it is actually returning on the right hand side data center. So the way I configured this is being configured as a round robin. So traffic is being sent on actually both sides. So if you can see from here, the algorithm is round robin. So basically, ingress will be load balanced to both sides. So let's see, for example, if this is configured as a both side, now is okay. Now is going to the left data center. So to simulate a kind of like a site failure over here, I'll try to shut down the H VMs, right? So effectively, you can see that, I won't be able to go to all the VMs on the left hand side now because the tier 0 has went down, right? So you can see that it's not responding now for the left data center VIP. So now when I do a new lookup, it actually went to the right data center. Okay, so you can actually see that I can do a curl now to the right data center, and it will actually gives me the IP address on the servers on the right hand side, right? So basically, if you can see that, this is where we actually put both solutions together, where we have NSX providing security as well as the NSX-T load balancer. We are making use of NSX Advanced Load Balancer by Avi Networks to do the GSLB. So this allows you to do both workload and ingress active across sites. So thank you for watching.